What up everybody, Enemy Junkie, and welcome to part 7 of What If Deku Had a Leveling System. And now, let's get to the intro.
I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Right in front to get myself a lamb color cuss for the game. Leave him hanging by his chain. Click bang, feeling rage, feeling fire in my brain, feeling insane. And it's slowly feeling flames with the fire from my brain. Bringing more free no glory.
Okay guys, I am so sorry I didn't upload yesterday. I was really tired, and I was doing the Ethernet cable thing in my house, and I was also putting up the new TV and a new camera system inside my house, or outside basically. But yeah, I was doing that the whole day, and I didn't actually sleep the previous night before that, so I was super tired, and I was basically helping the guy out. And then he left, and there was other sewage problems, or like this water pipe problem in the house. So there are other people out there working on that yesterday, so I didn't really have time, but I did have time, by the way. But I wanted to take a nap, but nobody woke me up after like 2 hours, and I woke up at like 12 o'clock in the night. So yeah, you can take this as an excuse, but I'll be uploading like 5 videos today, so don't worry about it. So last time we left off, Deku was just basically finished the first place of the sports festival, and All Might gave him the first medal, or the gold medal, and he basically won. Everybody loves him. He's like, this kid has an amazing quirk, super overpowered, but he would be really useful in a battle. So then let's move on to the internships. Everybody basically, actually let's move on to the names. Deku actually names himself the one-man army hero, or actually tell me Deku's name, because I don't think he would name himself Deku. Should he name himself Deku? Well, let's, for the meantime, let's say he did name himself Deku. But if you guys want a different name, comment down below, and I'll just basically change it in further into the story. So they do choose their names. Baku does mess up twice. It's like King Explosion Murder, Lord Explosion Murder, and he changes a lot. And Deku gets on his first try. He pretty much had his name the one-man army hero because he had that army quirk, or shadow army quirk. So yeah. And then after they basically get their names done, or the hero names done, then they basically get their internship requests. Everybody sees how many people got their internship requests. Deku is the top person, or number 1, who got the most internships, and between the number 2 and number 1 there's a big comparison. So Deku was like 200 internships. Todoroki has like 50, and then that is considered that's considered a lot, and 200 compared to 50, that's a big gap. And now you guys tell me which internship should he go to. Should he go to Night Eye? Should he go to Endeavors? I think I should make him go to Endeavors, just because Endeavor wants to know how he could use fire with his like shadow mages or whatever. He's really intrigued by Deku, so I think he will go to Endeavor's agency. Let's say he did pick Endeavor's agency with Todoroki, because remember, Todoroki learned how to use his fire and accepted his fire in the fight, so he needs to learn how to use it, so he's going to his father's agency. So let's move on to the next Stain arc. So Deku finds out that Todoroki and himself are going to the same agency, Endeavor's agency, and they basically go to the same train, and they basically hang out and they basically arrive at the agency. Endeavor basically meets them in his office. Endeavor says, "Good, you finally joined us." And he basically tells, "I want to learn more about your fire side." So they go to this training area, which is like filled with weights and all this like space where it's filled with fireproof material and stuff, mostly for Todoroki. And then he actually asked Deku to show him that what that fire quirk was, and he's like, "Oh, that was my fire mages." And he's like, "Fire mages? What are those?" And he's like, "Oh well, my quirk is based on medieval fantasy type of armies, like mages, knights, dragons, monsters, and all that stuff. That is what my army is based on. So I just created a mage that can use fire magic." So then he gets to know a lot about his quirk and understands that it runs on this mysterious energy. But when Deku runs out of this energy, they're basically his army is completely useless, by the way, and they just disappear. But he also finds out that he trained his body to a point where he's super strong and he's super fast, and he knows how to use a dagger, and a special dagger too. So he's like interested, because there's no metal in this world that can actually paralyze someone by the poison inside of it. So he's really intrigued by these weapons that he created. He's like, "Oh no, my quirk created them." see, because since I can create an army full of weapons that have armor, I can actually create weapons. So it's some kind of this excuse, but he knows that he got it from a item drop for a monster. So he basically hangs out with Endeavor and Todoroki. He basically fights with Todoroki and his mage flames and Todoroki's fire side, and they do that. And after that, they basically go to Hosu City, just like in canon, and they go there, and Deku basically tells Todoroki that he might be suspicious because Ida also is here, and the Stain Killer is also rumored to be here from all the research and all the material that I've found on him. And I think Ida's after him and trying to kill him. So Todoroki's surprised, like, why? And Deku basically tells him that Ida's brother was just brutally injured by the Stain Killer to show off his potential and stuff. So Todoroki's like, okay, if we can find Ida, we'll probably stop him or anything like that. And then the attack happens. Everybody knows, and Deku and Todoroki knows that the Stain Killer is definitely going to be here, and Ida's going to be looking after him. And then in the corner of their ears or whatever, in the corner of a building or a corner of like a different street, they hear, wait, Ida, you can't go there. And basically they're like, Ida? And they basically run towards the voice that they heard, and they run into that water hero who is supercharging, what am I saying? Supervising, that's the word, not supercharging. Supervising Ida, and he basically tells, wait, where's Ida? I heard you say Ida's name. It's like, oh, he went down that alley. And Todoroki and Deku basically go there. They basically tell Endeavor to basically send someone in the alleys or somewhere, and this time they actually don't make it this time. So yeah, the pro heroes won't be there. Endeavor and everything else will come after when the Nomu or Stain actually kills the Nomu and saves Deku from it. So they arrive there. They basically see Ida basically fighting Stain, and this time Ida won't actually get injured in the shoulder like before, because this time Todoroki and Ida, or Todoroki and Deku, basically get there beforehand. So as soon as they see Ida fighting Stain, Deku basically activates his one-man army quirk, or the Shadow Lord ability, and Todoroki basically shoots his ice wall and stuff like that to basically get Stain away from Ida. And Ida's like, what are you guys doing here? This is my battle. And they basically do that fight. It's like, oh wait, you're just going like revenge, and Ingenium gave his name to you. So they basically have that talk. It's like, you're nothing like Ingenium, so you should act like it. And Ida basically gets out of his revenge bubble and basically says, okay, I was wrong, I'm sorry, now let's fight him and get out of here. And they basically get the pro hero that Stain was about to kill him. I don't remember which hero was it. I forgot his name, but yeah, they basically secure him by the army or whatever, and they basically take down Stain easily because Deku has an army on his side, and we have fire and ice and also engines. So yeah, they basically take down Stain pretty quick and pretty amazing, because I think Stain is good with a sword, but I think Igris is way better with a sword and is probably faster than Stain ever was. And Stain and Igris was basically just respect each other because of their swordsman skills and fighting abilities. So Igris was respect him, and he would basically talk to him. He's like, you're a worthy opponent and you're skilled too. And Stain's like, you can talk? I never seen a quirk that can talk, but you're strong. And then Stain gets basically kicked his ass, and then he's out, and basically Deku gets attacked by the Nomu again. Stain gets there and basically takes down the Nomu. This gets recorded, sent out into the video, and basically all the other villains that look up to Stain know that Izuku Midoriya is worthy of Stain and is respected by Stain, so we shouldn't really kill him, and he's worthy to live. So yeah, basically Deku realizes there's a lot of Nomus going around, so he basically lets loose his army. Basically they start fighting the Nomus. Everybody wondering, was like, what are these black figures over here? And Endeavor basically tells them, no, don't worry, they're from a student who has a really strong quirk, so they're actually helping us, so don't attack them or anything like that. So they're basically taking down Nomus pretty easily, and there are fire mages and stuff like that, so it's basically gets rid of all the fire that is in the city, because there are also water mages and stuff like that. So the attack goes pretty smoothly. No one actually gets damaged that much. The city doesn't even get damaged that much because Deku was there with his water mages, and Stain was taken out swiftly and easily and quickly. So yeah, before the heroes even got there, and they're surprised that a bunch of, or 3 students and 1 pro hero, actually one low-ranked pro hero actually took down Stain, the hero killer, who was actually taking down Ingenium. So they basically get to the hospital. Whatever injuries they do have, they don't really stay there because they don't have that much permanent injuries. Deku doesn't really have that much permanent injuries. Todoroki doesn't really have those many injuries, and Ida's shoulder is completely fine, so he doesn't really have any problems with moving his arms or anything. So, but they do stay for like 2 days until their arms actually normally heal, and basically, or the doctors basically heal them with their healing whatever stuff. And I think Deku would also know healing magic, or he would have healing mages, so I think that would also work. So the doctor, or not the doctor, but the dog-faced head of police person basically comes and basically says, well, you guys were using your quirks, that was against the law, so I'm gonna give all the credit for capturing Stain to Endeavor, because if you basically take all the fame, that'll be against the law and you'll be going juvie. So yeah, which one do you want to choose? And everybody chooses, okay, let's give the fame to Endeavor. And Todoroki's hesitant, but he's like, whatever, my dad can have it. Native, that was the name of the pro hero. Yes, I finally remember. Native, that was the one. I think some of the credit would also go to Native because he was his target and he actually survived from the Stain Killer. So I think it would grow from like rank 1000 to basically 900 or something. He would get a little more popular, but not that much, because he's like, he barely survived, and most of the credit is going to Endeavor because Endeavor is like the strongest person compared to All Might. So yeah, I'll be doing the student versus teachers exam for the practical exam, or the final exam for their semester. I'll do that in the next part, and I'll also start the forest training camp in the next part too. So I hope you guys like, because it really does help the channel out. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and as always, Anime Junkie out.